Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Iconic with me, Danny Pellegrino. I'm here with Dolores Catania from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Dolores, how are you?
I'm good, Danny. How are ya?
I'm great. I'm excited to talk to you. And also, I'm curious to know what filming was like now with your new boyfriend, Paulie. Like, he just was sort of thrown into it now.
I know the poor guy. He did well, though. Paul is very much about my life and he wants to be a part of it, which was nice. I warned him. I don't think he was ready for it. And, a little history on Paul. He came to this country by himself when he was in his 20s from Ireland. And he's a great success. He's done very well. He's an amazing dad. He's just all these things. And then there's this. So I had to tell him, I'm like, I know you've been through a lot in your life, but I don't know how to prepare you for this. He's like, no, I got this. First day on the scene, big blow up.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
and I was wondering what he was thinking during that whole that whole Jen situation.
He got upset, and I don't like to fight in front of the guys because I don't like the guys being a part of it. And Paul is just getting to know everyone. He's just walking in. Does it have to be that? Like, really? Does it have to be this? I don't, where I am. Give me a call. Tell me you want to talk about it. Call for a meeting. But
Right.
Do we need to do this right now? Everyone's having a great time.
And how do you feel when the other husbands get involved in the drama? Because I know some people say, oh, they like when their husband or their significant other sticks up for them. And then other people are like, no, get out of here. This is women's business.
No, I was not raised like that.
Yeah.
I was raised, don't get a guy upset. Don't get them like in a fight. And I mean, the rest of the girls really, I can say, I don't think that they want it. It happens. We're close knit. We're all together too much. Do I want that support when I go home and say this happened? Do I want somebody to have my back? But do I want them to jump into a fight that I'm having with someone else? That's the last thing I want.
Yeah.
When you get the men involved, it gets ugly.
How are the new housewives? We have Danielle and I have it written down. There's two new housewives. How did you like?
And Rachel.
Yeah.
Well, there's three.
Three. Okay.
There's Danielle Cabral.
Okay.
There's Rachel Fuda, who I know, and Jen Fessler, a friend of.
Okay.
Wait until
I'm still learning the names. I feel like it'll take me a minute.
Oh, you won't forget them after this season, Danny. Let me tell you. Wait till you get a load of Jen Fessler. Hysterical.
Oh, I'm excited. Danielle was already sort of, everyone was interesting to me, but doesn't Danielle have a connection? Her stepmom is married to Caroline's brother. There's like a Manzo connection.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I believe that they're setting up for a Manzo return, which I've been saying for years, for Caroline to return to New Jersey. That's just the vibe that I get. Now she's going to be on Ultimate Girls Trip, and there was some stuff that I guess was sort of in the press about what happened on Girls Trip. Have you talked to Caroline about any of that stuff?
I did call and I checked on her to see if she was okay. And, she's tough. Caroline's tough, but I guess we'll see what happens with that. That's not my story to talk about.
Right. Melissa and Teresa, all that stuff keeps playing out forever and ever. And I know. I thought for years though, that they weren't, when they were pretending to be good, I thought I could see through that they hated each other. And I always said, I was like, they're just pretending. Did you feel like those seasons prior to this one, that they were just trying, they were pretending a little bit?
Trying is a better word than pretending. So, trying for the sake of the family, trying for the parents who want to see their family together, trying for peace, right? And for a relationship with her brother. So not everybody is going to get along. And when it becomes family, you have to make it work somehow. Right. But sometimes it doesn't. And as we see now, I think it's time for them to really part ways with the way. I don't want to see that. I mean, I don't even like saying it. I don't want it to even come out of my mouth. I'd love to see them not do this, but I don't know what else to do. I know it's very sad.
Right. And so you don't think there's a future for them at all?
I mean, tomorrow isn't promised to anyone, and no one knows what the future can bring. But the way things are right now, I think it's just their time apart is better.
And how is it for you sort of navigating the in-between? Because seemingly you have a relationship with both of them. When you're not filming, are you able to call up both of them on the phone and say, hey, how are you doing? Or I don't know, what's it like navigating that?
So I wouldn't typically, I'm not on the phone with Melissa all the time. Not that I don't like her. We never really hung out. Even on the show, like I have no problem with them. I don't fight with Joe. I'm not fighting with Melissa. Teresa is my friend who we've always spoke, so I wouldn't call Melissa anyway to hang out with her, especially not in the middle of a family feud.
Right. So you're team Teresa on this?
I'm not team anyone. No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, okay. But I consider myself family, and the way I would handle my sisters fighting would be the same way I'm handling this.
Would you ever have your sister on the show, or would you run from that after seeing all this play out with different people who have had siblings on the show?
I'm one of 5, and they really don't like they have filmed with me, haven't seen much of them. You'll see my brother. I'm very close with my brother the same way that Teresa was with her brother. My brother and I talk every day, sometimes more than once a day. So it's just devastating. I don't think that the show should cause a rift between anyone if there's a strong relationship.
Yeah. Talk to me about Jen. So we see in the premiere, and it's sort of carried over from the reunion, because you and Jen were at odds at the reunion. Going into this season, what were you thinking in terms of Jen? Were you hoping to sort of nip it in the bud very early on?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. But not the way, not in the first part that you see at the roller skating party, Jennifer like scurries away every time I'm near her. That could have been like a hello or, somewhere. And every time, and I even graciously invited her to a nice event I had where everybody had a great time. I didn't want them left out. And then, but the way she had treated me at the roller skating party, I kind of figured, well, I guess she doesn't want to speak. So when she came there, I didn't speak to her. There's time in between. You can speak to someone. You don't have to do it or make a scene in front of a bunch of people. I'm all about sitting down and having a meeting and talking it out, and not talking to 50 people before you get to that point.
Yeah. I imagine too, when you're in a group situation, then you also have a peanut gallery for every fight. So it must be frustrating if you're having an issue with, let's say, Jennifer or Melissa or anyone on the cast, and you're talking about your personal situation in front of the larger group. It must be tough to navigate that.
It's always been very tough, but guess what? If you're not if you're not being involved in the fight, I can support my friends, but I don't have to support what they're doing to each other.
Yeah.
And I have a very good way of being that way, because I have been that way since high school, grammar school.
I love when you call people a jerk off. That's like one of my favorite things, because I feel like it's the rare thing. And you're one of the only housewives I've ever heard call people a jerk off. And it feels so at home to me. And so I just have to say
that is very much old school.
Talking. It's like Italian. It's like, yeah,
it's
jerk off. You're a jerk off.
You're a jerk off, right?
Yeah. Okay. So how are you and Jen now? Is there a hope for the two of you?
Okay. It was hard to watch. Yeah. Watching that episode, I didn't know she called me a name when she walked out of the house. Didn't know. Not that I care. I mean, it's meritless. I don't think I look like what she said, Yeah. But, and that kind of thing wouldn't bother me, but it was funny, and nothing's funny about it, but the less that I engaged with her, the more crazy she got in that argument. And again, I remember, and to think back, Paul just put his hand on my shoulder and just said, like, it's okay, just calm down, and I wasn't doing anything, but it was nice to have that person stand behind me and do that.
Yeah.
So, but when he left there, he was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I just didn't want to have like Jennifer's grabbing everybody and making huddles and doing all this talking. And it's like, you know what, we can do this another time.
Yeah.
And you've had a lot of time to do this. I reached out to her last season. She didn't want to talk last season.
And then in between the reunion and this season, did you have an opportunity to talk at all, or was it just kind of radio silence? Yeah.
Radio silence.
Yeah. Do you like Jennifer?
I do. And that's why I was upset about the way things are. I don't like how she acts. I don't like how she handled this whole situation. I had no idea what was so egregious that I did to her to act like this towards me. I'm still confused about that, but I also like to leave it where it is because I don't think there's an answer for it. So I would just like to move on for it. There's a lot of things about Jennifer that I liked.
Do you think a lot of times people just play it up for the cameras? Like if they're maybe a little bit mad or it's a little nugget and then they make it into a bigger thing? Like, is there who on the cast, I should say, does that the most?
I think we're kind of really very authentic ourselves. I think Jennifer gets herself worked up a lot. But I don't know that she wouldn't do that in real life anyway, Danny. You know, I think what they are on the show now is what they will be in real life. Maybe they didn't start out like that, but I think everybody is pretty much who they are. I actually calmed down for that scene because I wanted to throw the table at her. Her big
Patterson
table
Dolores.
that I was standing behind.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I had gotten to that party not in my love bubble and my typical stress that I have in my daily life with all this stuff that I juggle, if I wasn't so happy when I got to the party, I don't know that the outcome would have been the same.
Yeah. When we see you at the bowling party with Frank, your ex, it seems like it must be tough for him to navigate this season with Polly around more. What was it like? Did you have any insight into like what Frank was like this season or how he handled seeing Polly more or anything you could tease about that?
You know, this was a hard transition for Frank. Frank's a guy who does not like change at all. And things have never changed for him over the years. Like, you know, we have this family dynamic and a friendship and everything like that, but that's all it is. And I needed Paul to be comfortable with that because it's not like my kids are little anymore. You know, Frank and I don't have to see each other as much as we did. I really like this relationship to be a little bit separate from that part of my life because I want a different outcome.
Yeah. And the kids, they all like Polly. They both like, yeah, good. Okay. So Teresa was on Everything Iconic a couple months ago, and she said, she sort of implied, and I don't want to put words in the mouth, but there was an implication that you and Caroline aren't actually friends. And I wondered, you are though, right?
Yeah. I don't think she meant that really.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't hear that, but I don't follow everything, but I haven't heard that.
Not to backtrack, but do the kids like Frank's girlfriend? Is he still with, I think her name was Brittany?
Brittany. Yeah. He's still with her and they like her a lot. She's the sweetest girl ever.
Okay, good. Jacqueline recently has come out. Jacqueline was a former cast member, and she had said that Melissa was sort of used her and manipulated her against Teresa. Did you notice any of that? Did you witness any of that?
I wasn't on the show then. Okay. You know what I mean? I came at the tail end of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened with her and Jacqueline and Melissa and Teresa. I didn't live that with them.
What about when you joined the show? Did you feel like Melissa or Teresa or anyone was sort of manipulating you in any way?
No. When I first came on, no. There's been times where I've been like forced to maybe not be friends with someone because somebody else wasn't talking to them, but I would never in my life, no one tells me who to be friends with. Right. Sorry, just doesn't happen.
You know, I always got the impression that off camera, you and Margaret are really close, or closer, I should say, than the show portrays. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah. So Margaret and I were very close, are close. We don't talk as much or see each other as much, you know, but we can call each other about something, bounce it off each other. But I make it a rule that my friends aren't allowed to talk about my other friends to me because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can never be accused of repeating anything that way.
Dolores, what do we have to look forward to this season? What can you tell us?
So it's very exciting. And it's, I think all of us show vulnerable moments. And I think it's probably the best season yet. I don't like the outcomes of everything, but I feel like some things need to had come to heads.
There's there's this whole thing about Melissa and a cheating rumor that supposedly comes up later in the season. Do you think that Melissa cheated on Joe?
No.
Okay. And do you think whoever came out with this rumor, which it's rumored to be someone who was maybe trying to get on the cast, Margaret's friend or ex-friend, do you think she was bringing it up just to kind of get on the show, or yeah? Yeah.
That was a weird situation. Like, what happened that somebody that you've been friends with since 5th grade goes and does all this to you? What did you do? Did you kill her dog?
You mean to Margaret, right?
Yeah. Like, why would she want to say this stuff about all these people, like, and try to do all this, like, and even when Jennifer Aiden, who hates Margaret's guts, like, asked her, why are you doing this? The excuse for it really didn't even make sense. Like, even Jennifer was like, I mean, I don't even know what to say on that one.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
Wait, Dolores, is that the Pottery Barn National Lampoon's pillow behind you? Is like all the way behind you? Is that?
No, I got that off of Wayfair.
Oh my God, because I think I ordered that same pillow and it never arrived.
It was out of stock. It comes with yeah.
Okay, wait. So how was Teresa's wedding and what did you think of the hair?
Oh my God. The wedding was a dream. It was, when I saw her walk out of the church, you know how you see in the beginning, it was just like surreal. And it also was the end of an era of Teresa and her struggles, I felt like. And now she has somebody in her corner to help her. She was so happy and so beautiful. And her hair was Teresa.
Yeah.
When I had walked in at first, I was like, oh my God. But only Teresa can get away with that.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean, I know people had different feelings about it, but I just thought, yeah, that feels right. I don't know. I liked it.
It was her.
Yeah.
It was her. And she looked absolutely beautiful.
Dolores, anything you want to clear up about the season or let viewers know as we're at the very beginning of this long ride that we have ahead of us? Is there anything you want viewers to look out for, to clarify ahead of time?
Do I want viewers to look out for and clarify ahead of time? I'm trying to think. I don't know what's played out. You know, we don't remember it. Yeah. Everything's a blur. I'm not that person that remembers everything. Like, when I leave a scene, I don't remember what I did, what I said, but I can tell you this. The finale, there has never been a finale like that. And it was in this room that you're looking at right now. See, it was up here.
God. So that's where the big fight goes down with, I've heard things.
That, right in front of your pillow that you like.
Oh my God. I've heard things, and I've heard this finale is going to be insane. Dolores, thank you so much. After filming, right before I let you go, after filming the whole season, you have all these new people that have come in to the show. And of course you haven't seen it play out, but would you expect or like the same cast to return for the next season if it were up to you, or a shakeup?
No, I would like it to stay the same.
Yeah.
Because we work together really well. It doesn't mean everybody has to film with each other.
Yeah, because I worry, how do Melissa and Teresa film together? How do we keep both of them on the show if they have a seemingly unrepairable relationship?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's going to have to be decided between the two of them.
Yeah. And the network.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who makes those decisions. I don't know how that works, because there's fights you make up. Nothing's scripted. And there's things that they always come back from, but I don't know about this time. So they're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah. I really want Snooki on the show too, because I've said this before, and I thought the excuse for why Snooki wasn't on there was because Jersey Shore is like a different vibe. But then like I think it was Danielle in the premiere. I was like, she's giving me like sort of a old school Snooki vibe. So why can't we have Snooki on here? Maybe it's probably just me that really wants Snooki in the cast, but
yeah, I think a lot of people do. I wouldn't mind Snooki.
Yeah, like I think she knows how to do reality TV, and I'm interested in her personal life. But
yeah, I think she's grown into like a great mom.
Yeah.
And she's like grown up, and as wild as we used to see our Snooki, I think she's definitely just done, she could be a housewife, sure.
Yeah. Dolores, thank you so much for your time. I always love talking to you, and I appreciate you on the show, and you look stunning, and I'm so excited to see the rest of the season. So thank you.
I'm not excited to see the rest of the season, and I can't wait to see what else has been said, Danny.
Do you have big fights with any of the new gals?
No, not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, they take care of that themselves pretty much. Pretty good.
Did they get messy right away? Did they just try to get messy right away?
Not right away, no.
Where's the trips? Where are the trips at this season?
Oh, the trip is in Ireland in a castle. Castle.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. You're not just going to the Jersey Shore, because I always get pissed. You guys are always at the Jersey Shore, which is nice, but like I want to see you overseas.
Our first international trip.
Love it. Love it. I can't wait. Dolores, thank you for the time. So fun talking to you. Thank you.
So much fun, Danny.